Ladies and gentlemen of the media, we have South Harrison High School head coach Tom Sears, players Corey Bolden, Noah Burnside, and Parker Bunch. Coach, a few comments on the game, then we'll field questions.
Obviously disappointed in the result. We just made some mistakes down the stretch that really cost us. And, but you know, I'm still proud of my kids. Historic season. Just didn't finish well.
Questions?
What was kind of the message in that last time out, and what did you want kind of on that last possession on the shot?
Well, we had a play drew up, and we had instructed you we have an extra timeout. We were trying to get some cross screens to our big because they really swallowed Corey up in the second half. And well, we ended up with a 5-second call. I was signaling for a timeout, but apparently not quick enough. And the message was there's still plenty of time on the clock. You know, it's our ball, it's our possession. Total confidence and faith in these kids. What they've accomplished this year has just been astounding and amazing. So, yeah.
Coach, what defensive adjustments did they make coming out of the locker room?
I thought they put Sean Banks #1 on Corey, so a lot more speed, and he did a really good job of just hassling him, chasing him around, and obviously Corey's been a big part of everything we've done all year long, and I think sometimes maybe we look to him too much, and I thought that really did hurt us in the second half.
Corey, as a positive though, I mean, people say all the time, it's so hard to shoot here, it's so hard to shoot here. You showed that for you, it kind of wasn't right off the bat. Just what were you seeing out of yourself early on and with your shooting in this game?
I approached the game as it was another game. Of course, this is the biggest stage, and we were ready for it. But we didn't get the outcome we wanted, and we just had to look forward from it. And I'm just thankful to be with such a great group of guys.
Coach, you talked a little bit about how things kind of went Corey's way in terms of the offense kind of flowing through that. How much did Lucas's foul trouble kind of affect the flow of your team too?
We've seen this throughout the season when Lucas, it's really been a point of emphasis. I mean, literally every game before we leave the locker room, it's so important you stay on the floor, not only literally, but stay off the bench, but literally stay on the floor and play good defense. And he does such a good job inside, not only offensively, but defensively. And when he's not out there, it is very, very noticeable. So obviously it hurt us, and they make a really solid run in the second quarter while Lucas is on the bench. Same thing happened to us in our other loss against St. Mary's.
Corey, obviously not the result you wanted, but to get you 1,000 points at the state tournament, it's kind of a neat thing. What does that mean to you?
Just truly honored and blessed. Like I said, can't be surrounded with that group of guys. Senior here, Parker. My heart aches that we couldn't send him out the right way. But I just want to thank him for all the lessons he's taught me and the leader he was this year. And I think he showed me how to be a leader for the guys coming in next year. And I think we just build off that and just come back stronger, better, and more hungrier for next year.
Parker, what has this run meant to you as a senior?
Well, being as a freshman year with Brent and Nick and them, seeing how the foundation really set in place, and then going up through the years now to my senior year, there's been a huge difference in the way we play and actually seeing the foundation be completed and actually building a house per se. Next year we're going to finish building the house, as I would hope they come out here and bring home the state title.
Tom, you got off to a good start. Yeah, I know that you probably expected nerves to be a factor. I'm sure they were to an extent, but your defense, which is where your success usually starts from, I think you held them to 4 in the first quarter, and if I'm not mistaken, 2 of those came late. What was the key to that strong start?
Well, they really were loose in the locker room, and I said to my assistant, Coach Kirby, I said, wow, they're really loose. They seem really, really focused. That's just their mentality. Like when Corey said that he just approached it as another game, of course it's the biggest stage, but at the same time, they really just step out there on the court and they played. Defensive, we knew that we had to win the game through defense, and we had a goal coming into the season to hold teams down under 50 or less. And we held Ravenswood to 49. Obviously, our troubles were more on the offensive end, but we look at that second quarter, we give up 21. That's not typically how we play. But I was pleased with their approach. I was pleased with their focus. I thought one of my biggest concerns was how would they handle this. I mean, South Harrison's been to the state tournament. This is our second time, and it's been 23 years. So I was concerned about that. I was concerned about the environment. I was concerned about depth perception, shooting. But I thought they handled it well. I'm super, super proud of their approach. And, you know, something back to what Parker said about next year. I told the guys leaving the locker room how important it's going to be to use this feeling they have right now. Those underclassmen coming back, how important it is to let that fuel them now in the off season to approach the game so that we can try to make it back here next year and go deeper.
Kind of playing off that, Noah, what do you take out of this experience for next year?
It's just, I mean, more motivated for next year. That's all I can say. Any further questions? All right, thank you all very much.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you guys.
Coach, you can take these and hand them out to the players.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Take care.
We go out here this week, make them.
I said, cut it up there, I'm going to. Mick, Luke Sweeney Price, the players Andrew Hunt, Matthew Cart, and Sean Banks. Mick, if you could, a few comments on the game, then we'll get questions.
Well, the first thing I would like to say is this. I certainly appreciate, having been a coach for several years, the job that Tom Sears has done at South Harrison. He had that program when it was pretty tough for them to get wins. And he didn't back off of it. He stayed and he kept working. And what a credit is to him and that community and that school to have a guy like him, because that's a tough team. They were 23-1 for a reason. They really worked hard and they really brought a lot of spirit to that community, and he's got a bunch of kids back, which is scary. And so my hat goes off to South Harrison. They were tough, and we were lucky to get by them today. The second thing I would say is this. I don't know when we get back home whether I should go to the First Baptist Church and pray or go to the gym and start making some layups. Man, did we stink in the first quarter. We put ourselves in such a bad position in the first quarter by missing so many shots at the rim, and then you look up and they're just knocking things down. I was trying to calm the kids down. I don't think I've ever taken a time out to state tournament in that length of time, that quick. But I thought I'd better because, you know, before they all go crazy. So I thought our kids did a good job getting back to that. And being down 3 at the half, we're lucky. It could have been 23 in a hurry. And these guys persevered, and then we made some adjustments at the half, and I thought they did a really nice job. They looked a little more settled in the second half. Bolden's a player, man. He's a tough guard. But we were able to keep some of their other guys at bay a little bit. We did such a poor job on the offensive glass. South Harrison was just killing us on the glass. And at the halftime, we made some adjustments. And Coach had some comments about it. So hopefully it worked out in the second half. These 3 guys did a really good job. I was really proud of our kids. They've made so much improvement this year from coming off a couple tough seasons before. And I'm really proud of them. And now they're going to get a chance to play in a semifinal Friday, one of the greatest days in high school sports in West Virginia.
Mick, one of the adjustments you made after halftime seemed like you put Sean on Bolden a lot more. What was the reason behind that, and what did you think kind of made that effective?
Well, Sean's a very, very good defensive player, and he's our quickest kid, and he's got great instincts. And I was hoping he could be one step ahead of Bolden because he was killing us coming off picks. And it wasn't like we didn't know that he was going to do it. He was just shooting it well. And I thought Sean did a really good job in slowing him down because he got going early, and that's really what propelled them to the halftime lead. But Sean had some help because he couldn't do it by himself. We had post guys up there. We had guys on the wing pinching. And the guys on the wing, not only did they have to pinch, but they had to take care of some of the other players that can shoot well. They had 3 other guys that averaged 10 or more points. So it's not like it's just Bolden. It's not. It hadn't been all year. So they got guys quite capable of scoring the ball.
Drew, you missed your first couple threes, and then after that, the floodgates kind of opened and you knocked down 4. Just how'd you feel shooting the basketball today? It looked like you were with a lot of confidence.
Well, I struggled at the beginning because I never shot here before, and then finally after those 3, I kind of just got my thoughts together and just focused on what I've been doing for the past couple months and just shot like normal.
Mick, that final minute and a half, you put a lot of trust in your guys to kind of work that final minute and a half. Talk about the
We
game
worked
plan.
at it.
Yeah.
It's not something that kids handle very well in pressure-packed situations. We've actually worked at it. I mean, we've actually worked at, getting a foul toward the end so that they don't shoot a 3 or, they tie the game up or whatever because, you got to know how to foul. And these guys have done a really good job in practices of trying to incorporate that into the game because they weren't on the bonus and we had a foul to give. And so I thought that's key because now you've got much time to get a shot. So that was key. But yeah, you're right. I had to take timeouts a lot. I could have, if the timeout was worth $100, I could have spent $1,000 real quick today because I was out of them in a hurry.
Sean, when you guarded Bolden in the second half, just kind of what was your mindset? What were you trying to force him into?
I was just trying to stay feet to feet, so that way he can't get a shot off. He's a pretty good shooter. Any space he gets, he's going to shoot the ball regardless, so I just did my best to stay for him, not give him any space.
Matthew, as far as after that first quarter for you guys, you stuck with the game plan. I mean, that had to put, a lot of trust again in sticking with what you guys were bringing in.
Yeah, well, our first quarter, couldn't get nothing to go. Went over to the bench, coach got us ready. Just go out there and stay with the game plan. Get to the rim, pitch, get in 2 threes, opens it up, get in there and finish.
Mick, what did you see from your team's defense, not only on the last possession when they couldn't get a shot off, but really one of the key plays was the 5-second violation when they couldn't get the ball in bounds because at that point it was still a 2-point game.
I credit my assistant coaches with that. They cut film up and they look at stuff and it wasn't something we hadn't seen. And then at the last second, teams panic. And when you're down and there's not much time left in the game, kids panic. 16, 17, 18-year-old, you're not, LeBron James or any of those guys. They panic. And so I think that they thought the time was coming off, and I thought our kids did a really good job of matching up on him outside and not giving him a first or second look. And then all of a sudden you're thinking there's 4 seconds left. And it was a very good job by our defensive group on the out-of-bounds play, and it gave us another opportunity to have the ball and get fouled.
Coach, if I would have told you you'd shoot the ball once in the last 5-12 and not at all in the last 4:07, what would you have said?
Well, I would say that there was probably a reason that we did that because we didn't need to. We needed to drive it and we were on the bonus, and so that's what we were trying to do. When you're on the bonus, you don't need to be lofting up shots and taking terrible shots. We take enough terrible shots during the year anyway, don't we, Matthew? Good Lord. Can't tell you how much improvement he's made, both personally and as a player. He's a good one. But, you know, sometimes you've got to take good shots. And I didn't want our kids just jacking something up. I wanted us to control the game, get on the bonus, get to the foul line, extend the lead if we could. And I thought all these guys did a good job. When Matthew's out there on top and he's got the ball, he's tough guard. He's going to make foul shots too. So he's going to either beat you off the dribble or he can get the foul line and make it count.
Something that doesn't show up in the box score, Mick, was a couple of those passes your bigs made to Hunt, driving the baseline, dishing off, and where it gave him an open shot. I mean, you could see it coming the second time. And
No, it's not something that we don't practice. We work on it all the time. These guys have worked on it for 2 years. This has been a work in practice, a work in progress, Kerry, because we weren't very good the last couple of years. And we had to get better. And we had to get in the gym and work, and we had to work on our game, and we had to do a better job at stuff. And we kind of felt like if we could do that, our guys that could knock down threes, with Bo Bennett and Drew, are very good three-point shooters. We thought we could get them more opportunities, and then when they extend the defense, then we got drive lanes. And so Ashton's pretty good at that. And he does a pretty good job of that. And he was able to see Drew, and Drew yelled at him. Now, Drew don't say much, and he don't talk much. And my team don't. It's one of the worst things about him, because if you can't talk on defense, you're not going to be very good. But I actually heard him yell when Ashton came under the board so that Ashton could find him. I said, you know what, that makes my year.
Coach, the Red Devil faithful really turned out as expected today. Just how huge was it to give them something to cheer about and keep this thing going on?
That's Ravenswood, Michael. When we go to the state tournament, everybody goes. I mean, it's a big deal in Ravenswood. And these guys have done a great job in getting here. We had a double overtime win against Charleston Catholic, which is a very good team. And we had to beat Buffalo for the third time. And what everybody tell you all week, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Well, yeah, it is, but you can, you know. And then we had to come down here and play a team that was 23-1. And I think they probably were a little upset that they were a 5 seed and we were a 4. And so we've had tough games. And these people in Ravenswood are going to come and support these guys. And it's great. And we're going to go back home at 65 degrees, and kids are going to be running around town with a T-shirt on, yelling and screaming for 2 days till we get back down here. What time we play? I forget. 1. Now, there won't be any school in Ravenswood that day.
you didn't have to see any of your alumni that you've celebrated with the 100-year anniversary down here today. Did you look up from the stands at all to see whether they were here?
No, I got texts all night, last night and all morning. I think I've had 2 hours sleep. And it's so great. I don't care. I don't need to sleep during the state tournament. I mean, you just don't. You can sleep any other time. But, you know, I don't care. I think that is one of the main things, that your alumni is so active at Ravenswood. We had 3 throwback nights, and we had all kind of people come back in families, and it was absolutely wonderful. And these guys all got to be a part of it. I just can't imagine how great it was. And we had 4 guys that was the first 4 All-Staters, 1950, 57, 61, and 63, that came back, and their families. Who else can have the first 4 All-Staters come back? And we're not a consolidation. So, you know, we had 100 years of basketball. A lot of schools would never ever be able to have 100 years of basketball. So it's been a big deal to these people all year. And for these guys to be a part of it, that's something they'll never forget. So we're appreciative, and these guys have given back to all those people that come back. They have got to the state tournament, and they've done well all season. So it's a big deal to our alumni. They're tickled.
Matthew, I think you were guarding Corey on that last possession, weren't you?
Yeah, I was guarding him well. Almost 3 minutes in the quarter. I got him. I think Sean was in foul trouble. I picked him up like 3 minutes.
Knowing though, when they're down by 3, you figured they want to get the ball in his hands. What did you do to kind of deny it? I know he got it at the end, but the shot he put up was after the buzzer.
The possession before that, we fouled him. We fouled him at 8. That's what we've been practicing all week. If we're up by 3, we're gonna foul him because we got fouls to give. So he came down. I gave him a blocking foul. Made him take it out, make him take more time. And then me and Sean, he got the ball, lost it. Sean came from the backside. I got in front of him. I think he lost it. I don't know.
Any further questions? All right.
Appreciate it, fellas. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations.
Hey, I want that. I'm going to give it to my principal. He never looked better.
Yeah.
Wow.